Hi everyone, it's Fabiola. I hope you're doing well today and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about something a little bit more serious than what I've talked about in my previous videos. That was the cat. He wanted to join in for the video today. What I want to be talking about today is something that some of you may have experienced, but this is from my own experience. This is about my experience with some type of people that you might encounter in your life. Some people that don't have your well-being at heart or don't really think about you in your relationship with them. Might that be a relationship or a friendship or even just acquaintances or maybe people in work. About people that don't really think about other people than themselves, basically. I would say a little bit selfish, maybe. So why I want to be talking about this today is because I've been in an abusive relationship myself. And over the years, it has been difficult to get over that. And I still do have a few things that I would like to get over or maybe get more confidence in, or maybe just get used to the fact that not everyone is like that abusive person is. Another thing that I really had to get used to, or really in the relationship itself really had to learn, was that not everyone is like me. Not everyone is the same, they don't think the same, they don't feel the same. So what I mean with that is that, for example, I myself consider myself as an empathetic person. So I care for others. I really would say that my life is built on being there for other people and built on helping other people and sharing what I have to say so that I can help other people. So what I mean with that is that, for example, if I would do something for another person and think that that would be completely normal, another person might not think the same, or the complete opposite. Another person might actually do things for bad reasons. So be a bad person, may it be, or be a bad person in that relationship. Some of us grow up thinking that everyone must think the same as us, because it's just difficult to understand that some people can be just bad people for being bad people and not just good people doing bad things. That was something that I really struggled with, because I was always making excuses for the other person. And sometimes I do it now with other people, for example, new acquaintances or new people that I get to know that come in my life. I make up excuses for other people, even though the excuses that I make up, they don't make. So if they do something bad, I make an excuse for them. Instead of that they should be coming to me and saying sorry, I do that. I make the excuse by saying, oh yeah, but maybe they're just, they've had a bad past, or maybe they just don't know the way the relationship works, or maybe they just haven't been able to experience these kind of things. So in that sense, I make the excuses for that person. And what I do with that is that I desensitize myself from the bad thing that they do, but obviously I don't forget it. So you can imagine that if a person in a relationship constantly keeps putting away those bad things, or what I consider bad things that they do, eventually it builds up and it makes you yourself feel bad. Because obviously you have been making excuses for this person, constantly kind of putting aside a little bit of you, of your own boundaries, of your own line that no one should cross. You've pushed it further because you think that that person can't be really bad. They can't be a bad person because bad people at heart don't exist. So that was something that I really had to learn, and that I'm still doing this till this day, is understanding that even though people have different experiences than us, or than myself, even though some people might not have been through what I have been through, or maybe they have been through worse than what I've been through, that does not mean that they are excused. They don't have a free pass to treat other people badly. And that is what I had with my ex when I was in that abusive relationship. From day one, I was really focused on every little bad thing that they did was just excused by me and not by them. Of course they made excuses as well. But it was excused by me, because I thought, okay, they have never really known unconditional love. They might be scared of a reaction. They might be scared of the way people will think, or they might be scared of whatever it is that they could be scared of, or just thinking they just don't know how to love because they've never been loved, for example. Because what happens sometimes in an abusive relationship is that it starts off as that person being a victim, the person that is the abuser in the end starts off as being the victim. Well, from my own experience, that's how they got me into that relationship. Because I am a helper at heart. I want to make people feel better. So when someone presents themselves as a victim, my instinct usually is to go and help. That's what I want to do, and that's how I am as a person. Obviously, I am trying to learn now that not every cry for help I should jump into, because I am a strong believer now that everyone should be their own hero in a sense. Obviously, you can help as much as you want and can, but no one can save another person. Everyone has to save themselves. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, obviously, because that was part of my recovery from a lot of things in my life. And what I've come to in the end is that you could see life as sort of a game, a puzzle in which you use cards to get further in life. What I'm trying to say with that is that everyone gets a deck of cards at the beginning. And some people get really, really bad cards, and it's just terrible. And like I said in earlier on, when I was making excuses for the other person, that I was making excuses, oh, they've had it so bad, or their life has just been terrible, they just don't know how to handle things in that sense. What you could portray that as is that they had a really bad hand. A bad hand of cards. I would say the hand that I got dealt was not perfect. But what I think is really important, and how you can extinguish and try to avoid those excuses, is that everyone has different cards. And some people have a really bad card, some people have less bad cards. But even if you have a handful of bad cards, it's how you play the game that is important. How you go on with that. How you go further from something terrible that happened to you. Do you move on and help other people, or do you move on and you turn into a person that is not that kind? Or what do you do with those cards that you have been dealt? Because in the end, life is a little bit like that game, like that puzzle. You come across people in life that you want to share that game with. So you start comparing your cards, or you start putting them together to get to the finish line. There's not really such a thing as winning or losing in life. What I want to say is that life, the game, is what it's all about. You get to the finish line, and that's when you know that you've played it, and you've played it well, you've enjoyed the game. That's what is important. So it's not such a thing as winning. You can see it more as a puzzle, in that sense that when you have put all the cards or all the pieces together, that's when you finish and the whole puzzle is complete, and you've enjoyed it. You've done it with the people that you care about. You've done it with the people that you wanted to do it with. And that's what's important. So you have people in life that come across and they want to see your cards, because they can't complete that puzzle without using other people's strategies, or they can't really get to where they want to go without kind of having the points of other teams, for example. So they try to get into your team. So tonight when you go to sleep, and you lay down your head on your pillow, what do you think to yourself? Do you think, well, maybe I played today fairly. I played it nice. I might not have gotten the most points for today, but I had a good time. Or do you think, maybe I cheated? Or maybe I spent my day making people believe that I had the winning hand? Or did you go through your day thinking about everyone else's game but yours, focusing on how you can overcome other people instead of focusing on how you could have enjoyed that day best? What I would say is go through life wanting everyone around you, including yourself, to enjoy that game as much as possible. Because in the end, it's not about winning. It's about doing it together or doing it alone, as you prefer, because some people just are lone wolves, and that's completely fine. It's about enjoying the game, because victory only lasts a little while. Well, the game lasts a lot longer. So put your energy in that. Put your energy in focusing on today. Focusing on how you can make your life as good as possible. And helping other people as you can and as you want, but never at your own cost. As someone who has been thinking that everyone thinks the same as me, or everyone, goes through life with the same and mindset as I do, it has been really difficult to understand that other people might come into my team, as I'm talking about the game now, just to take advantage of my strategy or take advantage of my score, because they can't get on as they want to get. Or maybe to even just look into what I'm doing myself, or ride along on my team, basically. It's been very difficult to understand that not everyone wants to join in to get there together. Other types of excuses that I would make would be like, are they too insecure to do things on their own? Or do they need help because they've never been able to do this? Or maybe in the sense of talking in this game, do they not know the rules or where they are in the game? Something that we should all think of is that, like I said earlier, everyone has the same rule book. Everyone can be a kind person, just like everyone could be a bad or could do bad actions. Everyone that tries to be a better person, it will show in their behavior. So stop making the excuses for them and let them make the excuses instead. Because in the end, everyone is responsible for what they do. And that's what I had to learn a lot when I came out of that relationship. And in general in life, I have had to learn a lot that everyone is responsible for their own actions. For the people that come and join your team just to take advantage of it, it's quite sad, because even though they fool us for a while, and it could be a day or 10 or maybe a few years, in the end, they don't even make it to the finish line, in the sense that whatever their goal is, whatever they've put as a goal, it's hard to reach when you're constantly riding on other people's happiness or constantly taking advantage of other people. Because if you're not happy in yourself, it's going to be very difficult to be happy in general. Other people will not always let you take advantage of them. So if you're riding on that, in the end, it's going to stop somewhere. I've always thought that it is quite weird or quite peculiar how it's always so easy to make excuses for other people, but it's always very difficult to make excuses for yourself or to accept mistakes or even little mistakes that you make yourself. It's always more difficult to excuse that or to accept that. When thinking about why it could be that it's so difficult to make excuses for ourselves, is that if we look at other people and they are doing things that are bad things, or pretending to be loving or pretending to be nice, we might think to ourselves, they've had it really bad that they can't be nice or they can't be good. They've had it worse than us because we can. That's when the empathy comes in, because then you start thinking, oh, they must have had it so bad. They must have had it really bad. So I should excuse their behavior. Because otherwise, I can do it. So that means that they've had it worse. Because no one can be a bad person at heart, right? Well, if it's really that difficult to accept that there are bad people out there, that people can be bad, that you should not really make excuses for them, maybe we should just leave them for what they are. Not bad people, but also not the people that we can play this game with. Because why should we team up with someone who would jump a team as soon as the other team has a better score, or who would just leave the group as soon as he doesn't like it anymore? So maybe instead of constantly asking why some people don't value us more or why they treat us this way, we should start asking ourselves why we are spending our time and energy and thoughts in these type of people, instead of just spending our time and energy in the people that we love, or in the people that are actually playing this game with us to get to the end. What I've been talking about now is just a way that you can look at something. Obviously, this is not set in stone, but this is the way that I've been looking at it lately. Just to get myself over a few things that I've gone through in life and over a few people that I've met in my life. And also to get my circle strong and loving. Because I can say now that the people that I have around me in this moment are people that I really, really, truly love. And that are just the people that grow with me and I grow with them and we help each other. Because that's what it's about for me. It's about being together and just helping each other through some hard times and definitely enjoying the good times. In the end, life should be enjoyable. We should do our best to make the best of it. Because if we don't do it, no one will do it for us. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any experiences that you would like to share, obviously just put them in the comments. Or if you have any ideas or anything that you want me to discuss, please send me an email. If you've liked this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And obviously if this is something that you would like to share with your friends or anything, you can always share the video. I hope this has helped some of you, because that's in the end, that's what I want to do with my channel. I want to give people a laugh. I want to help people with the things that I've experienced and with the things that I have come to acknowledge. And that's why I share it with you guys. You might have heard the guinea pigs in the background. They just want to say thank you for watching, and so do I. Hi, Lito.